Our timeline on this Thursday afternoon, wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. will now turn to an outside evaluation on his injured quad. This is according to the head coach. Beckham not expected to practice today. The Giants will face the Titans on Sunday. And Adam Schefter reporting just a few minutes ago that a recent CT scan on Carson Wentz's back reveals a fractured vertebrae. I'm Wendy Nix with Teddy Bruschi, Darren Woodson, Adam Schefter, and Hall of Famer Bill Polian. We will, of course, start with Carson Wentz, Shefty, and I'll just ask you what more you know.
He had a CAT scan yesterday that showed a fractured vertebrae. Now, they believe that he won't need surgery, that with rest it would get better. I think he still would like to play some, but they're determining whether or not that would be a wise idea. Probably not. He's not going to play on Sunday night, I would not expect, against the Los Angeles Rams. There's no reason to do that. The interesting part would be if they had beaten the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday, would he be out there on Sunday night against the Rams? And I think there's a chance he might be, possibly, because he'd like to continue playing. But in his current situation right now, they believe that he's expected to heal fully without any further issues based on the CAT scan. He's still going to go through more testing. It's been going on all season long. He had a CAT scan done earlier in the year on the back. So obviously a whole host of issues that Carson Wentz has been playing through. And I think that helps explain some of his performance and why it has not been MVP-like this year the way it was last year.
It's been a difficult return. He, of course, missed the tail end of last year, Bill, and then he comes back, and it's just been up and down. Nick Foles obviously steps in. He's done it before. Is it too late, though, this time around to recreate that same kind of magic?
I think it may be too late, and here's why. It has nothing to do with the quarterbacks. I thought Carson Wentz has had a great year, given what he has to work with. They have had zero running backs almost from day one. And now they truly don't have a running back who's capable of starting in the National Football League on their team. And without a running game, you really put the quarterback in an impossible situation. So I don't know that it makes a whole. And by the way, it's not bad decisions on their part. A lot of it's just bad luck, injuries, and they let Blunt go. But given the situation in preseason, you could understand that. They've had awful luck. But the fact of the matter remains that without a running game, doesn't matter who the quarterback is.
So it's a lot of pressure on the quarterback, a lot of pressure on the offense to score points because you're struggling on the defensive side of the ball too. And the only way that's going to help you defensively is if you have a lead and you can play aggressively and play comfortably if you have that type of lead. Without a running game like that, Nick Foles has shown that he can play good football, Wendy. You know, he's shown that. He's done that for the Philadelphia Eagles. So that's probably what they're hoping. You know, I worry about Carson Wentz a little bit in terms of you got a young quarterback now that has had some serious injuries in his career, and you gotta hope that he gets it right so he can finish 16. Because not only is he struggling to make 16 games, but you're hoping these seasons last 20 games.
Exactly.
Like
and you have to protect your franchise quarterback. And sometimes you got to protect your franchise quarterback from himself. I mean, we all know how tough this kid is. He wanted to play last year and this year, and rush himself from that ACL injury, get back on the field, and then at the same time, you brought in Nick Foles for a reason. You paid him handsomely. He has a nice contract, and he has an incentive package at the same time. So why not put Nick Foles back out there? Because right now, the Philadelphia Eagles do not control their own destiny. It's about the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys went out and win the next game. They pretty much wrapped it up. The Eagles, should take care of themselves, take care of their franchise quarterback, and sit him and let Foles take his spot.
Carson needs to learn a valuable Andrew Luck lesson here. Take care of your body. Be careful. Slide all the time. Don't take those risks. It's not the college level. They need him for 16, and as you say, 20.
Well, it's almost. I'm sorry, Wendy. It seems like these young quarterbacks need to be forced to learn this lesson. Only learning by experience. It's what.
Well, it's part of what makes them so good, right?
Exactly.
You know your greatest
bruised
strength.
kidney and all these shoulder problems to finally change his style.
Right.
You know, a lot of quarterbacks have been hit and injured until they've changed their style.
Well, let's face it, they're encouraged to do it at the college level.
Yes, absolutely.
So until they get to this level, they don't really learn that lesson. Yeah. It's the opposite.
Well, all of this, though, underscores the point also, though, why the Eagles kept Nick Foles, why they did give him the handsome contract that you referred to, whether you're talking about the start of the season or now, because as you know, Bill, it's extremely valuable to have a backup quarterback who can step in and produce. Week 15 gets underway tonight, and there are no shortage of headline-worthy matchups when the Chargers travel to the Chiefs. Tonight will be the 17th regular season meeting between these two teams, but 117th. But it'll be the first time they meet where both squads entered the matchup with at least 10 wins. These offenses have piled up the yards as they are the top 2 teams in yards per play. The Chiefs on pace to have the second highest mark in the Super Bowl era. And then both quarterbacks have produced strong 2018 campaigns. There's Patrick Mahomes, the second best QBR in the league, and right behind him, 37-year-old Phillip Rivers, who's also playing some great football. And with that, we say hello to Jeff Darlington, who covers tonight's game. And Jeff, let's start with injuries. In particular, Chiefs running back Spencer Ware and Chargers running back Melvin Gordon. What can you tell us?
Right. Well, I can tell you that both of those guys are not likely to see the field tonight. Spencer Ware doubtful in this game. Melvin Gordon does want to give it a try in pregame. He's missed the past couple games with a knee injury. They're going to take a look, but it feels like at this point, based on my conversations, that it'd be unlikely he'll wind up playing. That being said, for a Chiefs team that already doesn't have Kareem Hunt, we're talking about 2 teams that now are without their top 2 running backs in this game if they can't play. As if we already didn't expect a passing duel here between these 2 teams, I think we're really going to see that. A Chiefs defense that is coming on, at least statistically, still in the bottom of the league, but they're getting a better pass rush lately. And if you talk to Chiefs players, they do feel like this defense is taking on some momentum. Add into all of that Eric Berry, the safety, will be starting tonight for the first time since week 1 of last year. This Chiefs defense recognizes the task that they face. What a monster game between these 2 teams. Personally, I can't wait.
With good reason. I will ask you this, Jeff, because it's been so much fun to watch Patrick Mahomes. He's done things with the football that not a lot of people can do. But what are the Chiefs looking for, not only tonight in this crucial game, but in this crucial stretch of the season?
Right, well, Wendy, first of all, Patrick Mahomes has done everything in the regular season that the Chiefs could possibly want. Now it's about the clutch moments, and he had exactly that this past week against the Ravens in a game that really, quite frankly, toward the end there, it felt like the Chiefs had no business winning. But then he makes magic out of it. Andy Reid saying afterward that was his best game of the season because of the way he handled things in crunch time. And when you look at the play that he had on 4th and 9, Next Gen Stats say that he had a 15% probability of completing that pass when you consider that the wide receiver in Tyreek Hill only had 1 yard of separation. Mahomes was trying to throw it 46 yards, and the speed that he was making when he was rolling outside the pocket, that was a ridiculous throw in a high-pressure moment. Essentially, the Chiefs just want more of that.
I guess so, Jeff. That makes a lot of sense. Enjoy the game. It should be a good one. Our Hall of Fame quarterback, Steve Young, joins us now. And, Steve, as you heard Jeff articulate, we've just seen so much from Patrick Mahomes. He'll play in prime time tonight. Is there any reason to believe we just won't see more of the same with playoff implications on the line?
Well, Wendy, we keep waiting for a young player. You figure that they see he sees the focus of the whole NFL. You think the Baltimore Ravens didn't give their if you want to know who the Ravens defense is, watch last week's film. That is who they are, because that's going to be every inch of them going up against Patrick Mahomes. If you want to know who the Chargers defense is, you're going to see it tonight, because they're going to there's never been better focus or more focus in trying to stop Patrick Mahomes. So in many ways, it's self-defining. I'm facing the best of every defense, the best of who they are every week, and I'm still performing very well. I'm not worried about Thursdays, short weeks, recurring themes. It's like he doesn't seem to faze him. So I think at this point, until the offseason, let's just run the table. We'll talk about what it means to come back after one whole lap through the NFL. But right now, there's nothing I can see that's going to be a problem.
No, it looks right now that he's got the temperament to match that incredible talent that he's also has. But I tell you what, Phillip Rivers is putting up some MVP numbers, which is great to see. He's a veteran quarterback, been doing it for quite some time. Is this his best year at 37 years old?
You got to think that, Drew Brees, when he had some help, finally got some help at defense and got some a lot of turnovers that year, he went to the Super Bowl. Phillip Rivers has been waiting for help for a long time. He's had some defensive help over the years, certainly some offensive players, but never as many as this. And the protection is better. I just feel like Phillip finally has a whole team in the locker room that can go on the road and travel. And so I suspect tonight you're going to see the full measure of what the LA Chargers have put together in a roster that is as good as Phillip Rivers has ever seen. So because of that, at 37, I'm not worried about the age. Phillip Rivers is a great player, now has a great team behind him.
Steve, thanks. I know you'll be back shortly. Quarterback Spotlight coming up. I imagine we'll hear more about both of these guys there. And one guy, though, that will be after Patrick Mahomes, Joey Bosa, one of the top young pass rushers. He's beaten his block within 2.5 seconds on 43% of his pass rushes, Since the start of 2017, only Aaron Donald has a better win rate on pass rushes in that time among players with at least 500 pass yards and pass rushes, I should say. And Teddy, I got to tell you, I'm not sure we are giving this guy his due, perhaps a little bit more as we start to talk more about the Chargers, but he's been tremendous.
Yeah, Joey Bosa is one of the most talented pass rushers in the league, Wendy. I mean, it's his skill, it's his technique. I'll show you right here. He's on the edge, defensive left, right over here. And what he does is he sets up his moves so well, because right here I'm going to show you how he fakes this power. You see, so he's giving the picture of I'm coming right into you for this offensive lineman. So what he'll want to do is try to absorb this block and then come and meet that. But I want you to look at this. You see this leg right here by Joey Bosa? He's planting on the inside because he's redirecting with this push to push that way, because he's changing this power rush to a speed rush right here. So watch this. Boom. So the offensive line gets his eyes and head over his toes. Now he's beat, and the speed is beat on the outside. So great job of setting up a move right there. Power to speed. The other way, the technique you call is attacking half a man. That shoulder right there, where that 71 is, that's where Joey Bosa wants to tell this offensive lineman, I'm about to attack because I'm about to come with this speed. So, of course, he gets to that shoulder, boom, he sells it, and all of a sudden the offensive lineman, again, he is leaning, his head is over his toes, is what you don't want as an offensive lineman. Joey feels all this space, and he brings this spin move back, and watch this technician right here. Do you see that arm? The arm right there on his back to finish the move and clear so he can get to the pass rush to the quarterback and sack him. I call it being efficient as a pass rusher because it's almost like good route running. Every step as a defensive end is going towards the quarterback. Bosa's one of the best that does that, Darren.
Yeah, and he's a technician, and we see it on the opposite side as well as the Kansas City Chiefs, and they have three guys who can rush the passer as well. And when you watch these guys, we're going to start off with Justin Houston on the outside, wide nine, presses the quarterback, gets to the quarterback, and watch the hand. They're not talking about sacking the quarterback. They want forced fumbles. They want to turn the ball over, and that's what Bob Sutton teaches. And then you got Dee Ford on the outside in a wide nine. Look at that. Just getting there on the edge, being able to have that body lean, and finding a way to get to the quarterback. And again, look at the arm, Teddy. You see that arm coming out. They want to swing. They want to find a way to force the fumble, get the ball on the ground, and shorten the field. And then Chris Jones on the inside. The quickness, the ability to get to the quarterback. That's straight up speed. I didn't want to slow that down. I want to show it to you again and how he did this. The quickness to get off the ball. He thinks it's the run at first. He attacks the running back. Doesn't see that. Now the ball. His hand is trying to swipe the ball from Tom Brady instead of going for the sack. They want forced fumbles. They want the ball on the ground, shorten the field for their offense.
All right, guys, no question. That ball on the ground for either team is better than in the quarterback's hands because both of these guys can score early and often. Bill, what matchup are you watching tonight?
I'm going to watch the front. The offensive line that can protect best
when
is
it comes.
likely the one that wins because there's no running game either way.
Exactly.
There's no running game either way. It's a tragedy in many respects because this is such a big game, and four running backs are out for both teams. So the ball's got to be in the air, and the group that can protect best is the one that's likely to win.
Mm-hmm. As you heard, Shefty, and you know, of course, Eric Berry, it sounds like will play and make his season debut tonight.
Yeah, well, think about this. He got hurt in the opener against the New England Patriots in the 2017 season, and it feels like he hasn't played in about 10 years.
It does.
If you go back and look at that game, that was the game where Kareem Hunt burst onto the scene as a rookie running back for the Kansas City Chiefs. And basically, he goes and is out the last 2 years, tears his Achilles in that game, and then this year has a heel injury that he's battling all through the summer. And it's a situation where they've been bringing him along slowly, getting him ready for tonight, and finally, he's ready. He'll be out there. And at the very least, he's not going to play a full game. It's not natural to think that he would. But he's going to bring a big emotional boost to a team that will be basically inducting Tony Gonzalez into the Chiefs Ring of Honor at halftime on Alumni Weekend. And by the way, the Chargers have faced this before because in Pittsburgh, it was also Alumni Weekend when they played there that night. And so as someone in the Chargers organization said to me last night, since when did we become homecoming weekend?
Yeah, no kidding.
It's important to remember that regardless of the outcome of this game, this is really not dispositive about the two teams. One, because the running backs are out. Two, because the visiting team on Thursday night is 2-12. They have a decided disadvantage.
And they're 2-12, and the Chargers haven't beaten the Chiefs since 2013. They've lost 9 straight games.
9 straight.
So they're
That's
trying
right.
to buck a lot of odds. But you know what? This Charger team thinks it's different.
Yeah.
So this is its
And it very
opportunity
well might
to
be.
go blow up the Thursday night stat, blow up its history against the Chiefs, and go do something special.
Well, look, they
Injuries,
play it for a
short week,
reason.
all of that stuff. You're going to see these two mentally tough teams grind it out and see no matter what cards we've been dealt, we still got to find some way. You'll see it tonight on how
Well,
to
it's
win.
going to be an interesting game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one. We will pick this game later, tell you what we think. Also ahead on NFL Live, our quarterback spotlight, Ryan Tannehill, a tough game against the Vikings. Steve likes Tom Brady against the Steelers, but who's he got to break out this week? He'll tell you. And later, the Patriots travel to Pittsburgh to take on the aforementioned Steelers. Both teams lost in a shocking manner last week. Who will bounce back this time around?